Hello everyone, Mehrazar here. Today I'm going to talk about the letter Q and the miracle of the Quran, which is very interesting, and I suggest you listen carefully. Letter Q happened in two chapters of the Quran, one in chapter 42 and the other one in chapter 50. So when we program these chapters to the computer and we count the letter Q, in each chapter, letter Q is 57 and 57. So when we get the total of 57 and 57 is 114. 114 is the number of chapters of the Quran, and we divide it by number 19, which is the code of the Quran, and we get 6. So 6 times 19 is a multiple of 19. Now, in chapter Q, number 50, titled Q, the first verse, it says, Q and the glorious Quran. So that indicate that Q stands for the letter for the Quran, okay? Q means Quran. And the Majid, which is glorious Quran, Majid in Arabic, it has 57 with the grammatical value of glorious Majid is 57. And if we count the Q throughout the Quran in all the verse 19, again the total is 57. Now, chapter 42 has 53 verses. So if we get a total, let me make sure, has 53 verses. If we get a total of 42 and 53, the total is 95. 95 is divisible by 19 and is 5 times 19. Now, the chapter 50, we get the total of 50 and the total of verses, which is 45. 50 and 45, again the total is 95. Which is divisible by number 19, and it's 5 times 19. Now, let's go to another important, something is very interesting, noteworthy. In chapter 50, when God is talking about the people of Lut, mention the brethren of Lut. It doesn't say Qawm Lut. Qawm in Arabic means people of the Lut. But throughout the Quran, everywhere they mention as Qawm Lut. Not in Q initial surah, the number 50. It says brethren of Lut. If we would say Qawm Lut, we would have one extra Q, and our mathematics would be destroyed. Now, there is another incident like this in chapter 3, when God mentioned Beka, the word, instead of the word Mecca. This incident has been just, all the scholars in the world would be talking about this, why God mentioned Beka instead of Mecca. However, every other places that Mecca has been mentioned is Mecca. When we look at chapter 3 is the M initial chapter. So if the word Mecca would mention Mecca, we would have one extra M, and that would destroy our calculation. are mathematic. So I think I covered everything. Let me check again. Yep. And in future videos, I'm going to talk about other initials, because there is 14 sets of initial, and 29 chapter of the Quran start with initial. That for many years nobody knew about that, and they were wondering why there is ALM in the beginning of surah. What does it mean, and why there is M or N or Q? So this is for today. I hope you liked it, and thank you for watching my video. As always, appreciate it.